This is WOOL-FM 91.5 in the southern Vermont and New Hampshire broadcast area and streaming everywhere else in the world from wool.fm. Coming up on Friday, April 15th, kind of an amazing bill. It's Arc Iris and Winterpills at the Wyndham Ballroom here in Bellows Falls. Together, let's play a track, Wanderer White, from the Love Song CD, the new one from Winterpills. That was Wanderer White from the Love Song CD, the new one from Winterpills. And I've got the main songwriter from Winterpills on the phone, Philip Price.
Hey, Mark. How's it going?
What do you want to say about Wanderer White? What was that song? What was going on there?
I just had this weird seasick melody I'd come up with and was trying to figure out words that fit. And I pulled some lines straight out of Dylan Thomas poems and kind of mangled them and then hid them underneath the music. So that's how that song got made. It actually, we'd been playing it for a couple of years, and it evolved really nicely from what it started off being. We couldn't quite get a handle on it, and then all of a sudden it just began to take form. It's got a strange structure, which I love songs that have weird structures. I mean, there's no real chorus or anything like that, and The chorus is really just all of us going woo, just going, which is fine by me.
Let's get this out of the way right off the bat. Winterpills, does it mean something?
I've been asked this so many times over the years. I had my stock answer, and then I gave up. I came up with it years ago for an electronica project I was going to do, but it never gelled. And the name just sort of hung around like an insect in my brain. And when the actual Winterpills began performing without a name, it just sort of stuck. It made more sense than the other project.
So Winterpills equals bug.
Yeah, kind of. It's some kind of
That's an
the winter insect that doesn't die because the winter was too mild.
Your 7th album, Love Songs, just came out last month.
Yep.
How's it different? How's the lineage going?
Well, there'd been a kind of a long gap between the last album, which came out 2012, which means really we're talking about songs that were written, 2010, 2011. And then between there, we had an album, a covers album. So a lot of songs had been written, which I am thankful for. We had been talking with producer engineer Justin Pizzaferrata, who works out of Sonolab down here, and we've been wanting to work together for a long time. And the stars aligned, and we went in there, and it took us about a whole year working with him.
Wow!
We started in November 2014 and ended November 2015. And it was kind of revelatory. He's great to work with, and it was really great to just focus on the music and not get all caught up in the technical aspects. He's so good at that, so much better than I am.
It sounds like a good pairing.
Great pairing, because he has a kind of a pedigree, recording a lot of heavier bands. He's worked with Dinosaur Jr. and Shane Vasquez and the Sonic Youth people and Lou Barlow and Parquet Courts and some heavier bands, but he's also really, really good with the acoustic sounds as well. He has a huge dynamic range, which suits us because we kind of do too.
How did he influence the sound on this one?
I think just being in his space with all his toys, we just felt encouraged to play a lot bigger. We also recorded almost everything pretty much live. And looking at each other, and before that we'd been caught up in doing it very piecemeal out of necessity. But those are two huge factors. We experimented more in some degree, but it was also a lot more. It just felt a lot more live and organic recording in that space.
The studio experimentation, is that a hard thing then to bring to the stage, or just you rely on good songwriting?
It's really more like we were bringing into the studio what we do on stage. More like, I think over the years, being kind of pegged as a quiet band, but we've had to adopt our sound to playing in places that we would not be heard in otherwise if we didn't play louder. So we kind of, we became more of a rock band than we thought we might have been at the beginning. So we just pulled that into the studio.
This new CD is called Love Songs.
Yep. That was me lobbying for that.
Congratulations, you won.
No actual love songs included on album.
I've read some apology for the title, though. This thing that I read says that they're all love songs, in that there's love of the idea of love of unrealized love, etc. Is that fair?
I suppose it's a little overthinking the idea of love. Maybe more a bit of the mythology of love, or things that people are obsessed with, things that they mistake for love, as opposed to songs that have a very clear object of affection. Although there's a bit of that in there too. It's just how I think, I guess.
You mentioned how the band kind of evolved. And speaking of that, the first album, the self-titled album from 2005, which was in the top 100 on iTunes and Amazon, which is great. You guys were popular out of the gate. Being re-released on vinyl.
Yep, you have to do vinyl nowadays. That's fresh out too. It ended up coming out at the same time, pretty much. All the manufacturers, stars aligned, and they just ended up with all these boxes, both albums, the first and the latest.
Are all of them on the clear blue, or
the reissue of the first album are all on this transparent blue vinyl? which suited the mood and the art, the existing art of the album.
The art of the album it's gorgeous. And this is something also that the band has excelled at, the packaging.
Yes, we try to make it striking and try to disturb a little bit if we can. Are you referring to the new album?
Well, all of them actually, but the new one specifically, this fox on the cover, man, that's evocative.
Yes, the fox that bears witness. I came across that image as a bit of a placeholder. Everyone that looked at it was like, wow, that's a great image. And I found out who shot it, and it was a Spanish photographer. He goes out into the wild looking for imagery and came across a fox by the side of the road that he got into a staring contest with. Mm. The fox didn't want to leave, and so he took a lot of pictures. This is one of the most striking ones from that batch.
Well done, Mr. Photographer.
Yeah.
Let's play another track off this new record. How about Celia Johnson?
This was actually one of the latest written on the album. We'd gotten almost all the way done with it, and I'd just written the song as kind of a really gentle acoustic ballad, and we began rehearsing it, and it just turned into this like kind of a power pop rocker. Celia Johnson's a British actress who was most famous for her role in a 1945 film called Brief Encounter, an early David Lean film that was written by Noel Coward. And it's one of my favorite films. I'm kind of a film nerd, and I've been obsessed with that movie for a long time. There was a lot of stuff going on in life. It just all ended up in this song, and there it is.
That was Celia Johnson, Winterpills, off their new CD, Love Songs. And talking to Philip Price on the phone, they're going to be playing along with Arc Iris over at the Wyndham Ballroom in Bellows Falls on the 15th.
We played a couple shows with those guys right now, and I've got a few more.
Talk about them. I did a phoner with Jossie a couple of years ago. What an amazing band.
Yeah, they're really unusual. I guess they're kind of more stripped down right now. They're down to 3 members, and they're trying to get their footing with that. And I don't know. As far as I can tell, they sound just as amazing. It's an interesting pairing. We're pretty different sounding, but there's something complementary. You know, Jossie has some folk roots, and we have some folk roots, and we kind of went somewhat different directions with it. But I really like. There's some pretty clear prog rock influences in that band, and that's my childhood right there. Listening to a lot of prog rock of some excellent quality and some pretty questionable quality, but I'm not ashamed.
Hey, I was a huge fan of the really early Genesis stuff.
Oh, me too. That stuff holds up.
Yeah. Both bands have played over there at that great intimate ballroom. Both bands just wowed the room, so this seems like it's going to be a pretty electric show.
It should be good. This is the first time we're bringing the full band to the Wyndham. We've been up there as a duo twice, and we actually played the space before it was what it is now, years ago.
Oh, back when Gary was doing the thing in the front room?
Yeah, in the front.
You've been at this for a long time. You've been doing this music thing since the 80s.
Yeah, since a very long time.
And you were in the Maggies back in the day. Did you carry anything from the Maggies into Winterpills?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I consider all the songs I've written for all these years as sort of a continuum. It's not really, I don't really look at it as like I stopped here and began something new. It's all just it all just kind of flows into one another. So, yeah, I mean, for one thing, our bass player is now the bass player for the Maggies.
Oh, there you go then.
He's our newest band member. He joined last year, and it's great to be playing with him again. We've always been friends, and we just took a gap. We just took a break of 10 years. So sometimes you got to do that.
Even Memorial Garage, you consider that very much like Winterpills?
Not like Winterpills, but I mean, I can reach back there in my head and figure out how I would have written that kind of music.
No, I haven't heard any of the Memorial Garage stuff. I have only read about it, but I need to hear it.
Well, it's not really widely available. We have, sadly, all the original multi-tracks we did 2 albums. They were lost. So all we have are our final mixes on cassettes, and I've been threatening to get into them and find the best mixes and have them all remastered and somehow release it.
Well, I would encourage that.
We'll get to it. It's there's the present moment and the future to deal with. There's so much in the past too.
Well, I couldn't have been more thrilled to read that first eponymous Memorial Garage tape was done on a Fostex X15. That's beautiful.
It was, yeah. Engineered by Tony Widoff, who managed to get an incredible amount of sound out of that little thing. He went on to do a lot of work with David Bowie and U2. So, and now he's a tree farmer or something in Oregon. Done with the music biz, but
that seems to happen to people in the music biz sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it does. I can't tell you why I'm still around. But.
Well, because you're doing well. I mean, Winterpills, you guys were darlings right out of the gate. We had some good luck at the beginning there. It's true. You know, we've also straddled 2 or maybe even 3 different eras of the music biz, the way it's morphed over the past decade. And it really was kind of a different world back then than what it is now. I mean, I was not anticipating I'd spend so much time staring at a computer screen now. Just for the most basic promotional aspects of this, which is already not the easiest thing. So how can a band survive such times and live?
I do not know. It probably helps if you're in your early 20s and you can just be on the road all the time.
Yeah.
But, we have families and kids, and so it ends up being a part-time thing. And if you're lucky, some other good things happen. You can support yourself for a while. But
Somehow this the turn this discussion has taken makes it sound like the band isn't amazing and at the top of its game.
Well, I think creatively we are, but in terms of packing stadiums, we're not quite there.
Oh, that doesn't happen anymore, unless you rush.
For some people,
Well, you maybe don't want to be those people, though.
the 1%.
Yeah. And, well, maybe that's appropriate because Winterpills was sort of born of heartache, right?
That's true, and I guess we're just going to stay down here.
You can enjoy that on the 15th with the band.
Hope so.
You're a little bit self-deprecating, aren't you?
Oh, some days, yes.
Yeah. Now, I was born and bred in Minnesota, and that's what we do. That's our stock and trade.
Oh, well, I was born in Texas, so I'm not sure how that translates. I've been in New England long enough now where that kind of something similar to what happens in Minnesota, I would imagine.
Your inner Texan has been lumberjacked.
Yeah, it's been a little laid low.
You and Flora, the backbone of the band, and more.
Yes, Flora. Yes, we've been married 8 years, in the band for 10, and 11 really.
So that may be the best thing to have happened with Winterpills.
It's great. I have to say, going on tour with your partner is a great thing. It sort of makes certain things certainly technically easier, which isn't always the same for everyone else in the band. Sometimes we have to kind of pretend we've broken up for a tour just to make everybody feel okay. That's the running joke anyway. But yeah, it is hard for people to get out without and leave their partners behind, and we don't have to worry about that. It has enabled us in the past few years to go out. We actually go out and do a lot of duo tours. Just got back from Canada, doing a run of shows with the Great Lakes Swimmers.
Yeah.
It's a blessing for us in many ways.
I'm sure it's good that you guys get along and all, but she's also captivating on stage.
Yeah, she's a huge talent and has got there's something about her voice that there's more harmonics in her voice than in most voices. A good element of the partnership is that she gets to hear a lot of the songs before anyone else and provides an editorial ear that I need. And she also gets first dibs on stuff she wants to sing.
As it should be.
Yes.
And she sings on, what's the name of this song? Bringing Down the Body Count. Why would she want to sing on that?
Well, because she liked the song.
So tell me about this song, and then let's play it.
The original of this was very dirge-like and pretty different sounding, and I was singing it on the demo, and the lyrics really came out of one of those songs kind of written half in a dream. I woke up with it kind of half written, and I had a lot of war imagery in my head. I don't know, it just fit into this kind of melody, and then when we couldn't figure out how to do it as a band, it was a big mess. But then we pushed the key way up and played it faster, and it became suddenly very kind of Neil Young with a woman singing lead. That's where we ended up with it.
Well, I can't think of a better title than Bringing Down the Body Count to be on a CD called Love Songs.
Yeah, if you think about it, it makes sense after a while. You have to think about it a long time, though.
Oh, Maria, bringing down the body count. Oh, can you lift your hands up into the root song? I'm counting the compound eyes. I'm staring at you and your face behind the glass. Subtracting one death from every life. Did you kiss me on the mouth when my wife was sleeping under you?
And welcome back. That was Bringing Down the Body Count. And I'm on the phone with Philip Price from Winterpills. They're going to be appearing at the Wyndham Ballroom with Arc Iris on the 15th of April. Celebrate getting your taxes in the mail on time.
Yeah, really. Come out and celebrate.
I understand that you have an expired notary in the band.
Dennis started that rumor, didn't he? That may actually be true, come to think of it. Well, it's interesting. So if he's an expired notary, I'm actually a minister, so we can marry you and stamp your marriage certificate, like all in one fell swoop, and play your wedding.
It's a package rate, man.
I thought of doing that at different times. But.
The other day I was talking to Peter Aguero. He's that guy with the moth, and he's a wedding officiant too.
Is that right? Well, it's pretty easy to become one. You can join the Universal Life Church. Geez, I can't remember the name of the church I'm a minister for. But you basically fill out a form and pay a fee, and boom, you're a minister.
Have you had some pretty awesome weddings?
I've married two couples.
That's a good start.
With mixed results. But that's neither here nor there in terms of my skills as an officiant.
Do you have a favorite process for writing? Not necessarily a process, but the customary way that it works out?
Well, I can tell you that I am not someone who gets up at 9 in the morning and makes coffee and starts writing. I tend to be someone who waits for it to come to me. I've really tried the daily grind approach and ended up with, nothing very good. Mm-hmm. But the songs usually just sort of come to me, and I guess maybe that appears lazy, but I still end up with a lot of songs, so it must be working. I do manage to crank out about an album's worth of songs every year. They don't always end up getting recorded. Sometimes they just sit or they fade away into the vaults. But often it's melody first. I don't usually fill notebooks with lyrics waiting for a melody to hit them. Occasionally I will.
So it comes how it wants to come.
Yeah, it's a pretty subconscious process, I think. I just have to be willing to capture it. I think I have something of an obsessive brain, and when melodies do come to me, they tend to get looped in my mind, and I can't get rid of them. So writing a song is a way to purge my brain of obsessive-compulsive behaviors, I suppose. But, I think lyrics are very important, and that's the hardest part by far, is trying to understand what the song is saying to me and what is behind the melody. Mm-hmm. And the words are important to me. I think when I was younger, I really did write songs that I could be almost singing anything. It was very much about the sound I was making, and mm-hmm. This is like Memorial Garage era or around that time, and I was very, very much interested in something of a postmodern downtown New York experience in terms of what kind of sounds I was making, what kind of sounds the band was making. But over the years, it's really I fell in love with a lot of different music that had long form narrative stuff going on in it, and decided that I needed to up my game after listening to listening to a lot more Bob Dylan and Freddie Johnston. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like lyrics have gradually become much more paramount to what we're doing. I think Winterpills did start, I guess if you're talking about an era, I feel like the two solo albums I did before Winterpills and this, I really kind of figured out how to wed the lyric and the melody in ways I hadn't before.
That nasty old prog rock aside, what would be the most surprising influence that you've had? What would surprise people?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, probably two of my favorite bands are the Minutemen and X, and they're both LA punk bands.
Yeah.
But I consider those bands the height of musicality and poetry and a lot of politics, particularly in the Minutemen, which I don't have hardly any of in mind. But
well, rest in peace, D. Boone.
Yes, indeed. I did get to see the Minutemen, and I got to shake D. Boone's hand, and he was gone a couple months after that. But yeah, I found myself very influenced by the Winterpills. I consider influenced by X, just the male-female harmony thing. Mm-hmm. It kind of locked into my brain as that's a sound. I always want that sound. There's a lot of there are other bands that have male-female harmonies, but X is the one that really got to me the most.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys have on tap going forward? It doesn't sound like you possibly have anything specific on tap.
Well, shows, a lot more shows as the year goes on. Regionally, where we are playing the Green River Festival.
Mm-hmm. We're
going to be doing a show, maybe more, with Miracle Legion, who have regrouped.
Nice.
We're looking at the West Coast in the fall. Mm-hmm. Just continuing with all this. I already have a lot of new music. I'm thinking about a solo record.
Another one.
We'll see. Almost every time we finish a cycle with an album, I'm like, I'm going to do a solo record now. And then that solo record turns into a Winterpills record. So we'll see what happens. But I do have a lot of songs I feel like would suit a solo project in ways more than other times.
Yeah, I want to go backwards a little bit when we were talking about the changes that the music industry has gone through. What would you say to somebody who wants to get involved as a writer or in a band?
I would say be careful. No, I know I'm never going to be one of those people that's like, don't get into this business. It's awful. I think if you're an artist in any level and you have ability, which sometimes takes a long time to know if you really have a voice. Yeah. Because I think everybody can be creative, but not everybody is necessarily really called to it. Mm-hmm. Take some time to understand that. But if you are, I feel like you really have an obligation to it, and I've stuck to that. That's why I haven't quit. Even though there's been many times when it seems like that could have been the smarter thing to do. Yeah. Just revel in being able to play music, and I mean, for me, the most exciting part of my music is the writing, and the playing is like it's almost performing. Live performing is like almost like its own world. Its own world after the fact. It's like another industry, another arm of the process. But to me, writing is really where it's at, and that is a lonely process, and the other part is a communal process. So whichever part you're drawn to, I think if you're just starting out, I don't know. Be quiet and listen to yourself.
Talking to Philip Price on the phone. He's the main songwriter with Winterpills. And they're going to be with Arc Iris at the Wyndham Ballroom coming up on April 15th. More information about that and tickets at popolomeanspeople.com, or just head over there. They'll sell you a ticket when they're open. More information about Winterpills at winterpills.com. That's a beautiful website. I don't know who you had do it.
Oh, yeah, I made that.
Good job, you. So you do have
Thanks.
a fallback career.
I do some of that, yeah.
You know what? Let's go out with another one. It can be from the current CD or something from the catalog if you want.
Oh, goodness. Well, let's go out with something. I'm still stuck on the new one, so
Sure.
I got to say, I do have a crush on our current album. Normally, when it's done and released, I'm kind of sick of it, but I do still find myself listening to it and really liking it. Why don't you play the last song? It Will All Come Back to You.
Sounds like a good closer.
It's piano-based, and our friend Anders Griffin is playing trumpet.
A trumpet and piano.
Magic formula.
With my hat in my hands and my ozone side, I made everyone kiss me goodbye. I was overdressed at the farmer's ball. I had my nose in the air, thought I was above it all. I sold you silverware for a good price. A handshake and a wink would buy you 30 nights. But I was scared of you. I was scared of you. I introduced you to my father-in-law before I knew your name. You told the same joke to everyone who came. We were all stuck on a bus with no license plates. The driver shared your flask, and I walked home alone in your ice skate.